workshop regarding API testing. Means before starting the demonstration, we are giving a complete idea on what is this API testing, why we are performing API testing, and how is the scope in market on API testing, and what you're going to learn in this API testing course. Completely, we are talking about that. Okay. Just let me know if you face any audio issue or if you're not audible clearly what I'm delivering. Just let me know. You can ping me in the chat, or you can you can unmute yourself and you can just notify me. Okay. Okay. So today we are learning completely about the API testing overview. Okay, so what is this API testing? Why we are learning this API testing, and what is the scope on API testing in the market now, in the current market? Okay, so now we are starting a demo sessions. Okay, so 1 week of demonstration will be there, and today completely on the free workshop regarding API testing. Means before starting the demonstration, we are giving a complete idea on what is this API testing, why we are performing API testing, and how is the scope in market on API testing, and what you're going to learn in this API testing course. Completely, we are talking about that. Okay. Just let me know if you face any audio issue or if you're not audible clearly what I'm delivering. Just let me know. You can ping me in the chat, or you can you can unmute yourself and you can just notify me. Okay. Okay. So today we are learning completely about the API testing overview. Okay, so what is this API testing? Why we are learning this API testing, and what is the scope on API testing in the market now, in the current market? Okay, so before jumping into that, first we'll discuss about the duration of the course and the content of the course. Then we will jump into the API testing part. Okay, so duration of the course we have planned is 30 to 40 days. Okay, duration of the course will be 30 to 40 days. Okay. So in this 30 to 40 days, what you're going to learn? That is the question, right? Because if you are up in the course means you should be very clear what you're going to learn in this 30 to 40 days. Correct. Okay. So first, what we are doing is we are dividing this complete API testing course into two parts. Okay. So one is manual part, one more is automation part. Okay. So this is the automation part. Means we are performing a API testing both on the manual part and also automation part. Okay. So with respect to manual part, we will be using a Postman tool to work with the REST APIs. Okay. So here we will be using a REST assured library to perform the API testing. Along with this, if you come to the tools, we are using Eclipse and Java language. Okay. This is the precondition for this automation. So we are using a Eclipse as a IDE and we are using a Java as a language to write the script with respect to automation. Okay. So with respect to manual, we are making use of a Postman tool to perform the API testing. Okay. So first we are starting with the manual approach. Why we are starting with the manual approach is obviously when the course started, so most of the people will be very new to this course and they will be not knowing what is API itself and what is the contents, how to handle this API whenever we are receiving the APIs. Okay, they will be not knowing anything, completely zero knowledge on this. Okay, so some people will be knowing something, some people will be knowing some extent. Okay, but I have to take each and every one in single port, correct? So that's why. So first we are starting with the manual approach. Okay. So just like a selenium, just you think about the selenium. Okay. If you have to become a expert in the automation part means obviously you should be having a thorough knowledge on the manual functionality. Okay. Means functionality, if you are thorough means then it will be very easy you to become an expert in the automation. Okay, so then the same way, if you know the functionality perfectly, then only it's possible you to perform the automation effectively, correct? In the same way here also, so initially we are started with the only automation part, but there I've seen a problem that some people are very new, who are very new to the concept, or who can not able to understand completely about the API things and all. They were getting very difficult to track the things whatever I'm delivering. Okay, so then what we are doing is, then we divided the course into two part. One is manual and one is automation. Okay, so here what's happening, so first we will start with the manual approach. Okay, for that we are using a postman tool. This is the postman tool. Okay, so first we are completely learning about the postman tool, means we are completely learning about this postman tool. And with the help of this postman tool, so what are all the APIs we have that we will be performing here, means we are performing a manual part of API testing. Okay, first we are learning complete detail about this tool. What is this tool? How it is useful? And what are the functionality it contains? How to handle this collection? How to handle this environments? Why we have our environments? Why we have this collection? And what is the smoke server? When it is useful? And how we can make use of this feature in the Postman? And coming to this, what is this workspace? Okay, what are the basically what are the functionalities we have inside this postman? Yes, we will be completely learning this part. Okay, so once after getting a tool knowledge, then we are taking a REST APIs to perform the testing. Okay, so first, what are all the concepts we have in the postman testing that we will be covering? Okay, so we will be having here, we'll be working with all the HTTP methods. Okay, so here we have all the HTTP methods, and we'll be taking the all the APIs. Means it is a get API, post API, put API, patch, delete. Okay, so all the CRUD operation will be performing with the help of the postman. Along with that, what are all the other concepts we have? Environment concept, collection concept, mock server concept, workspaces concept. Okay, and variable concept. And here, if you look at here, so we have some other features also. We have a params, we have a authorization, we have a header, body, prerequisite script, test. Okay, so completely how to perform all these action will be learning. Okay, complete testing, API testing with respect to manual approach. Okay, so once we are covering this part, once we are covering API testing with respect to manual approach, then we are jumping into the automation part. Okay, so why we are doing this is useful in two ways. How it is useful? If you are a manual test engineer, you just want to as of now you just immediately want to learn some manual part, and you have to apply that in your workplaces. Okay, so by the time, yes, after covering this part, yes, you can happily you can make use of it. Okay, or else if you are a manual test engineer, you want to apply any other jobs that with respect to manual API testing only. So after covering this part, you can start applying your job. Okay, and after that, so once we are working with the manual part, okay, obviously we'll be more confident enough to automate the same thing. Okay, whatever the action we have performed in the manual part with the help of this postman tool, the same thing we are achieving in the automation part. That's it. Okay, here manual efforts will be there here, but here we are writing the script to perform the same action. Okay, so if you want to look at the script means, for example, this is my post request. Okay, so this is my post request. The same thing I have performed here with the help of the, see, I have selected the post method here. I selected the post method and I provided some URL, and I provided what all the details required to perform the post action here, and I perform the things. Okay, this is completely we are involving in providing the data, providing all this information to the server. All those things we will be doing it here. Okay, but here what happens? Here same thing we will be performing with the help of the scripts. Okay, we have to make use of our scripts to perform the action. And for this, see, this is a Eclipse IDE, and this is the Java language, and I'm taking a, with the help of the Java language, I'm making use of some Rust Azure library to perform this action. Same like how you perform in the Selenium. In Selenium, you will be using a Java language, and you'll be using a Selenium library to perform the action. The same approach here also, but instead of a Selenium, but here we are following a rest assured library. Okay, so now before jumping into this manual API testing and automation API testing, before that, first we will be learning about something called JSON. Okay, so first we are learning about this language. Why we have to learn this language? Because we are using this language to communicate with each service and client. Okay, so while doing the API testing, whatever the data we are sending to the server, or whatever the data we are retrieving from the server, that will be in the JSON format only. So if we have to send the data inside the server, we have to create a data, or else if we are retrieving the data from the server, okay, we should be able to understand it what it is sending us, correct? So if you want to understand that part, we should be having some knowledge on this prior. Okay, so that's why here first we are learning about completely about the JSON. What is JSON and what is JSON object? Okay, and what is JSON array? How to create a JSON object, how to create a JSON array, and what are the data types applicable, what are the data types applicable in this, and how to create a, JSON, nested JSON. Because we are not only having a simple data in real time, right? We will be having a nested data, we'll be having a complex data, right? So how to create a complex data and how to access it using a JSON data. Okay, so completely whatever the things we have, and serialization and deserialization. Okay, so first we were completely learning about the JSON part. Once we have, it's very easy. Okay, no need to worry. Okay, it's very easy language, it's very lightweight and easy language to understand. Okay, so first we are learning about this. After learning about, we are jumping into the postman tool and learning completely about the postman. And then in the postman, what are all the action we can do? What we are learning in the postman? We are learning about the workspaces. We are learning about the collection, environments, and mock server, and authentication. Mm, then mm, so HTTP methods. So on this only we are performing a CRUD operation. Not only this, we'll be learning some other things also. Okay, so workspaces, this is all the main concept. Okay, so what is workspace, how it is useful, and why we have to create a workspaces, and what is collection, how it is how collection be created, and how it is useful, what happens if you are not following a collection approach, and what are the advantages it is giving us. Okay, and then completely about the environment. Environments means we will be having a in real time QC environment. Okay, QC environment, developers environment, or UAT environment. We'll be having so many environment, right? Different environments will be having. So how to handle those part with respect to postman. Okay, and mock server, this is something like a dummy server. We will be creating a dummy server and dummy data to work with this. Okay, and authentication, obviously in real time when we are working, so every API should be having some authentication. Okay, we have to perform some authentication before using those services, otherwise it will not provide us the details. Okay, so how to perform this authentication, how many types of authentication we have a so many types of authentication. Okay, different types of authentication we can perform according to the what authentication they have defined. Okay, so we will be looking into the each and every authentication type here. So we have a barrier token, we have a API key, we have a hot one, we have a hot two. Okay, so all this authentication we'll be seeing how we can perform while we are working. So after that, CRUD operation, this is nothing but a business operation. If you take any of the application, so we will be performing this action only. Either we will be creating some data, or else we will be reading some data, or else we will be updating some data, or else we will be deleting some data. This is what the operation we will be doing. Okay, so how to perform this, how to perform this we will be seeing with the help of the APIs. Okay, that is not we are we are not going it here and we are not creating inside the application. For example, if you take a banking application, there you are creating your account, you are updating your account, you are reading your account, and you are, if you don't want to continue the service with the particular bank, means you are deleting your account. Okay, so this is what the business operation. If you take any of the application, this CRUD operation is the most important operation that we will be performing. Okay, so now the same operation how we can perform with the help of the API, or we can create a data, or we can read the data, or we can update the data, and or we can delete the data, that we will be seeing. Okay, then if it comes to the rest assured part, it's not possible to list out all the content that we are covering, but yeah, what are the important contents we have, that I will be writing it here. Okay, so here first we will be, before jumping into the rest assured, hope you all having a basic knowledge on the Java. Okay, because observe here, before jumping into the automation part, we will be making use of a rest assured library, and we are using a Eclipse IDE, and we are taking a Java language help to write the scripts. Okay, so here, so first what we will be doing, first we have to set up the library, right? Means we have to set up the whatever the precondition is required before starting a rest assured part. Means what are the dependencies we have to had before starting into the, before launching into the rest assured project. Okay, so that's we will be doing. First we will be performing all the setup that's required to perform the rest assured testing. Okay, so first we will be doing this, then after that we are completely learning about the basic part of the rest assured. Okay, rest assured basics. Okay, so what is this rest assured, how this library is working, and what are the content we have in this, how to call the method which is available in this rest assured, all the complete detail we'll be learning here. Okay, so then we are something learning about the rest assured logging. So how to perform the logging. Okay, then handling headers, something called as a request specification, response specification. Okay, so after covering this request specification and response specification, So we'll perform the, see, this CRUD operation we covered in the postman. Okay, in the manual we are covered the CRUD operation before, right? So we will be having some idea that how this works, right? For example, if we are making use of a post, what are the parameter we need to pass? What type of URL we need to pass? And here, with respect to a request part, what are the parameter we need to consider? All the details will be knowing before, because in the manual part we have already learned. Okay, the same approach we have to use it here to perform with the automation. Okay, so after covering this script operation, then we are going with the handling some mm, post request, sending payload in multiple ways. Okay, so this is a important concept. Okay, to perform the post action, we have a multiple ways to create a post request. Okay, so this part we will be learning first. Okay, so after performing a CRUD operation, how many ways we have to send the post request? Okay, so that after learning that part, then we are jumping into the handling of the complex JSON. Okay, how to handle the complex data, and then handling request parameters. So basically, first we will be learning all the concepts which we have in the rest assured. Then after learning all the concept, then finally we are jumping into the framework part. Okay. And then something called as a serialization and deserialization. Hmm, okay. So after covering this, yes, here also authentication part will be learning how to perform the authentication. Authentication is very important concept. Okay, so because none of the API will be free. I mean to say they will not provide easily the data, right? So we have to perform the authentication before using those details. So authentication with respect to automation, how to perform the authentication. So after covering this, so then we'll learn something about the Pojo class creation. Okay. So after covering this Pojo, something we can learn about the Jackson annotation. Okay. With respect to this Pojo, first we will be learning about the simple data handling and then complex data handling. Okay. So after performing this, we'll start about the framework. So this is completely about the manual. This is completely about the JSON. So in this, so many other topics are there. Okay, handling headers, handling cookies. Okay, with respect to parameter concept, just I'm giving you the uh, initial, uh, data. I mean to say, just a main data I'm providing it here. Okay, under this we have subtopics. So with respect to handling the parameters, we will be having how to handle the cookies, how to handle the um, header completely, header whatever the header details we have, so how to handle those things. So we'll be learning all those things. Okay, so this is part of the manual, this is part of the automation, this is part of the JSON. So after learning all these things, we will be jumping for the framework implementation, nothing but your project. Okay, this is the framework here. Okay, so with respect to framework, with respect to framework, we are completely building a end-to-end framework here. Okay, so after building end-to-end framework, This is the end-to-end framework. So after covering all these topics, okay, so make sure, so in the framework what we are doing is, so after covering all this topic with respect to the automation, so this framework is nothing but your project part, okay. So once you are thorough with these concepts here, so you will be guiding me to create a framework structure. Okay, so I will also be creating this, and also anyhow here we'll cover all the topics. Okay, so by combining all the topics which we are covered in the automation part, that only we are using here too. By combining all this concept, we are creating a framework. Okay, so in this framework topics, okay, so you will be guiding me to write the snippets. Okay, anyhow here will be spending some time to work with this all the topics, right? So same topics only we are combining here to create a framework. Okay. So after creating a end-to-end framework here, so we will be learning how to integrate with the GitHub, how to integrate or else how to make use of a GitHub while we are working in a framework, means in a project. Okay. So how to integrate a GitHub, then how to integrate a CI bar CD tool, because execution you will not be doing in your local. Okay, so while we are learning the automation part here, we will be performing a execution in the local. For example, here see, I will be performing a execution in the local. This is what execution in the local. Okay, this is execution that I'm performing in the local. Okay, so but this is not the case when we are working in a real time. Execution should happen in a Jenkins. Okay, we have to integrate our framework with the Jenkins. All the execution and report generation, everything should happen in the Jenkins only. Okay, so that we will be seeing it here. So how to integrate the GitHub, how to integrate this Jenkins, or nothing but say bar cd tool. Okay, and how to generate the report. We'll be making use of a Halil report here. Okay, for the reporting purpose. Why we have to, you know create a report? Because we have to track the information, right? Means, for example, if you have a 50 scripts, how many scripts passed, how many scripts failed, why they are failing. So being a test engineer, we have to be taking care on the failed test scripts. Okay, past script we have to skip that. So how we get to know that result, and how we get to know where it is failing, and how it is, what is, issue with the script, for what reason it's failing, all the details we will be getting in the reporting part only. Okay, so we have to maintain the report. Okay, that, we have to maintain the report, and once after coming, so we have to check, okay, how many passed, how many failed, and we have to give a work on the failed test scripts. Okay, this is our duty being a test engineer. Okay, so this part we will be seeing it here. We are creating the framework, we are integrating with the git, we are integrating with the jenkins, and we are integrating with the reporting part, and we'll be seeing the execution in the JBAR CD2 instead of in the local. Okay, that will be performing in the project section, means framework section. Okay, so this is what we have planned completely for this course. In this 30 to 40 days, this is what the plan. Okay, any doubt with respect to content section? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Harshil.
Yeah.
Can you please mention the how many days we take a manual automation and other things?
Okay. So this manual, yeah, just maximum of 10 days will take. Okay, so this manual approach, it will not take much time since we are handling with the tools. It will not take much time. Okay, but we need some more time for the automation part only. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, any other doubt with respect to content, just go through the content. If you are facing any issues, means just let me know if you have any doubt with respect to this.
Hello.
So, yes.
I mean, is this a free sections or I mean paid?
No, this workshop is we are conducting as a free. Yes,
Okay.
obviously the course when you're opting it is charged only.
How many days these workshops will go?
Workshop is today, and we have a
Mm,
1 week of demo session from tomorrow. Okay,
okay.
after the demo session, yes, if you are interested, then you can
What
hop the course.
the amount? I mean,
Fee amount, yeah, I think management they will discuss with you. Okay.
okay. I just got a invite link. I don't know about the free link. That's why I'm
Mm-hmm.
asking. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Is this the same timing will be there for the classes also?
Timings will be 6 a.m. Sorry, I forgot to mention here. Yeah. So time
Mm-hmm.
that we are planning for this batch is 6 a.m. batch. Okay.
Okay. In the morning.
Yes, in the morning.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Okay.
they have any other slot?
Other slot, already 7 a.m. batch is running. That we have started, I think 2 weeks back. So now we are starting with respect to this automation part. We are starting for them.
Okay.
Just okay. So if you guys are, you know, you're okay with the manual part, and if you want to jump into the automation part, yes, you can plan for that 7 a.m. batch because now only we have started the automation part for them. Okay, just 2 days back I started them. Yes, yeah, you can, go with that if you are not comfortable with the 6 a.m. But only if you are okay to jump for the automation part. If you don't want this, prior knowledge on the manual, yes, if you are having some knowledge on this, yes, you can jump to the 7 a.m. batch. Other than that, yes, we have the 6 a.m. now because most of the offices are starting, right? So yeah, okay. So for by considering that, we are planning for the 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. so that within the 9 itself our class will be ending. Within the 8 only it will end, right? So it will be good for the one who is started going for the office, and if they also want to learn something.
What
Hmm.
duration of the class?
Duration of the class we are planning 30 to 40 days.
I mean, every day, how many minutes it will be? Hours.
Every day 1 hour of session.
Okay, doubts will be asked at the end of class.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, okay? I will be there to clear all the doubts for you guys. Make sure you are understanding and you are, learning something from it, okay? If you have any